you guys know that the movie that Kevin Feige has most been pumping and promoting has been Eternals, which is why I suspected that Black Widow and Shang-Chi would probably be okay. And sure enough, Black Widow was okay, and I expected Shang-Chi to be okay. It's so much more than okay. Shang-Chi is so effing good. Anyway, but all Kevin Feige's been talking about is Eternals, talking about how it's going to be a Best Picture nominee, like Chloe's out and amazing. Yeah, people aren't going to believe this. And, that first trailer came out, that big trailer came out, and I really liked it, but it didn't capture everybody's imagination, right? No. It was like a little introduction. It's like, here are these characters coming. Well, a brand new, what they are calling the final trailer for Eternals dropped this morning. I lost my mind watching this thing. I absolutely lost my mind watching this. First of all, I hate using this word because it's such an overused word, but I'm going to pull it out here, guys. The epicness of it. This galaxy spanning, time sprawling, all powerful, yet only observing kind of beings. And they threw in the action in there. The big question after the last one was, well, why didn't they help with the Thanos fight? Why didn't they do this? Well, that's answered. We got our orders. Now, they did a little trick in it where she says, we were ordered not to interfere except for things where deviants were involved. And by the way, guys in the live chat, was I the only guy in the world who I confused for a moment deviants from variants? Because I was thinking, wait, so what? They're only going to get involved if 50 Lokis show up.
People in the tan jackets show up, I'm in trouble.
I totally took it. Wait, so only like 100 Lokis show up. Only then do the Eternals get this. Oh yeah, deviant is different from variants, and I had it a little bit confused in my head. Anyway, but we only get involved with these deviants, which is of course kind of the counterparts to the Eternals, and then they did what I think is a little bit of a trick. Because when somebody says, who ordered you that you can't get involved? And then it cut to that scene of the Celestial. Of course, the Celestials are the one who created the Eternals. You're like, oh. And what? I thought at first, I totally did. And I even talked about this in the chat board. I thought at first that the Celestial we saw was Eson the Searcher, or the Eson the Searcher, or the Seeker. The same one that we saw, the same Celestial that we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy, as the one who had the Power Stone in Tavon's story, and him destroying only beings of incredible power can wield it, and you see him destroying a world. Because I was thinking in my head that in Guardians of the Galaxy, Eson was red. He was not. The one we actually saw here was Arasham the Judge, who is another big-time Celestial. But here's my theory. My theory is when they talk about the emergence, she goes, the power of the unsnapping, or suddenly half-life in the universe reappearing, create an energy that has started the emergence. Or the emergence. The emergence or the emerging, I can't remember, one of the two. And I think that they're not working for the Celestials. I think the emergence is something that's going to cause the return of the Celestials, which... if we go back to Eson in Guardians of the Galaxy, he's just walking around wiping out worlds. That's bad news. Now, maybe that's not the case. Maybe they truly are working for a Celestial because in the comics, that's how it is. But I think that little cut edit in the trailer is a misdirect. I think it's a misdirect. We say, well, then who commanded you not to? And then it cuts to Arasham the Judge, and it cuts to him. I think that's a misdirect.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're trying to maybe prevent him from returning. I'm not sure. Again, it's way too early to kind of guess on this. By the way, Peter Cunnington sends in a super chat badge in live chat. Thanks a lot for that, man. I really appreciate that. But the humor in it was great. The action looked intense. I love the fact that it seems like since there hasn't been any deviant activity, they just all went their separate ways for hundreds of years and they haven't seen each other. I like that you see them tracking each other down again and all this kind of stuff. It felt, again, I hate using the word, but I will use it. It felt epic. Now, again, we've seen lots of trailers, great trailers to bad movies. So, I mean, Eternals may suck. It's got the reigning, defending best director in the world right now, in Chloe Zhao. She still has that title. So she's the reigning champ, and she's directing it. So you got to give it the benefit of the doubt. The fact that Kevin Feige's been gushing about it for so long. But the last trailer was not the one to get everybody hyped. This seems to be the one to be getting everybody hyped. Now, Aaron, I'm going to pick on you here for a second, because I know you don't spend all your free time researching and going into and watching everything you can on the history of the Celestials in the MCU universe.
Celestials is like all I care about.
But so as somebody from that perspective, you had a chance to watch this trailer this morning. What did you think of it?
Meh.
Really?
Not gonna lie. I know. And here's the thing. People go, I don't understand why Erin is on the John Campea show. She adds no value. I will tell you the value that I add. I am the other side. Okay. I am not a fangirl. I do not read all the comic books. I do not read the graphic novels. I don't know who the Celestials are. I don't know. The first thing I ever heard about the Eternals was this movie. So I am coming at it from the non-fangirl perspective, and you can all scream at me later. It's fine. But what I felt when I watched this trailer was, man, I'm really burned out on superhero movies. That's what I felt, because honestly, I was like, oh, someone's shooting lasers out of their eyes. Oh, someone's going like that, and like fire or whatever is coming out of their hands, and they're pushing back a bad guy. Oh, it's really epic, and it travels through time and space, and it's just like, I not being a fan of the story and not being really invested in the story, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. It just sort of seemed like every other big epic, it just
Not so
honestly.
Yeah, and listen, you represent a big chunk of the average movie-going audience, so that's how it hit you.
That's the thing, is that because there are a lot of people out there like me who don't know who the Eternals are and who don't know who the Celestials are, they're looking at it going, okay, well, right, but why is this movie any different from all of the other movies where people are shooting lasers all over the place and people are traveling through time and space and, doing really cool things and wearing cool costumes and having big fights? I don't know how it's any different. I really don't. So I feel like this is a great trailer for people who are fans of the story and who are already emotionally invested. As someone who is not already emotionally invested, this trailer didn't really give me any reason to be. And I watched it twice because I was like, wait a minute, why did that guy from Game of Thrones change his accent halfway through? And then I was like, oh no, it's two guys from Game of Thrones and they look exactly the same.
And
they're the same person, just with different accents.
This one perspective. Kim, you had a chance to see Eternals. I mean, I obviously completely loved it. Aaron was very meh on it. You're the tiebreaker here. What did you think about the Eternals trailer?
Oh God, I don't know. I think
she
my response was, oh my God. I was so excited. I watched the trailer at 1:30 in the morning. I've seen it 6 times between now and when I showed up at the studio today. I am so excited for many a reason. One, Chloe Zhao. I love Nomads, and for anyone who hasn't seen it and maybe you don't like independent films or slower films, please invest the time to watch Nomadland, because something that I am expecting from her, and I get you, Aaron, I feel you on the angle of, oh gosh, another superhero movie. Because I was like, is Icarus and Superman, are they cousins? Like, is there a crossover? Because they're both sharing powers. However, something that Chloe Zhao, I've seen from her just in Nomadland, is bringing humanity to another level. And I feel like what Marvel's really known for and very good at is bringing these larger than life characters and making them seem like one of us, but with powers, instead of like the flesh of a human. They really bring humanity. Marvel's great at that. But Chloe Zhao, God, Nomadland, I felt like I was on this journey with people who are living out of their vans. And I'm expecting that from her. I saw a little bit more of that and just the humanity between their conversations. I mean, Fastos shops at IKEA. How much more human can you get than that? And he enjoys the fall collection. So do I. But I'm so excited for this because, yes, it's a superhero movie. And yes, this is another movie with not just one superhero. There are many. I don't even know how many are on the team of the Eternals. What is it? Is it 7 or something?
I think there's 10 on the poster.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. However, it's the humanity. It's going to be the relatability. We've got love. This is, I believe, was it Kevin Feige that said that this is really going to be the first love story? You've seen romance a little bit in the MCU, but this is going to be the first MCU movie that is a love story, you know? And so I'm excited to see this for so many reasons. I'll end with this because I could go on and on about my theories and how I agree with you, and maybe it's a misdirect, but I will end with this. What I'm most excited about is that not only is Angelina Jolie in this, but she's not the lead. And I didn't get that from the trailer that she's the lead. I love that Gemma Chan is the lead. And I actually like Angelina Jolie more as being a team member with a bunch of amazing people and not the lead of this. Because even though let's face it, she's the biggest name. However, I felt like she was one of the guys. She wasn't, I'm Angelina Jolie, this is my Marvel movie. And I respect that about her. And I like her for doing that and not coming in and, you know, like our friend Vin Diesel, our family member, saying, I have to be the lead. She's like, let me be a part of this team. And so there's so many different reasons and elements, but I'm here for the storytelling and Chloe Zhao bringing us onto a level with these larger than life beings that we can relate to. And so I'm thrilled. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped. No need for espresso this morning.
Yeah, here's another
good. I'm energized.
Here's another interesting thing to consider. They are calling this the final trailer, right?
That was weird too, but I like that because don't tell me everything. Give me mystery.
But here's why I find it interesting because, and by the way, our friend Bartleby Shrivner sends in a super chat badge in the live chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Here's the interesting thing. There has been a lot of discussion about whether some of the higher profile films are going to get pushed more because of the Delta variant and all that kind of stuff. I think Disney just basically showed their hand. I think Disney just basically showed, this thing's releasing on schedule. Or at least, not its original schedule, but this thing is releasing now on the schedule that we have it on. This is coming out when we are now saying it's coming out. Because if they were even questioning that right now, I don't think they make a big deal out of releasing the final trailer, everybody. I think if they thought there was like a 30% chance we may push this movie into 2022, then they don't put this trailer out right now. I think they sit on it for a few more weeks. Or at very minimum, put it out and just call it another trailer.
Right.
I think by coming out and not just putting it out, by coming out and saying, final trailer, Eternals, here it is. I think they just basically revealed that they're hell or high water. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, but I think given circumstances, I think that shows us they're planning on just keeping it where it is. I don't know, Kim, I mean, look, you never know what's going to happen, right? Like the situation, the world can change tomorrow for sure. But all other things being equal, Aaron, do you agree with me? Do you think this is kind of a sign that Disney is saying, hey, until something massive changes, our plan is still to release this thing when it is? Or do you think it's still very volatile right now?
Well, no, 100%, because how often do you really hear studios talk about the final trailer or the first of 7 trailers? Like that's kind of just strange wording that instead of just saying, oh, here's the next trailer, they had to specify the final one. That is very telling. When is the release date for this?
I believe November
7th.
Yeah, it's a little over 2 months away right now. It's a little
November
over 2 months
7th. I believe that's when King Richard comes out. So I definitely will not be seeing this opening week.
Like, hell no. I compete with Angelina.
I can tell you right now where my butt's going to be, in the theater seeing King Richard. Thank you very much. No, I will, because it's Chloe Zhao and because I'll need to talk about it on the show. Obviously, I will see Eternals, but yeah, I do imagine that they're going to keep it according to schedule. And do we know if this is right now saying in theaters only, or is this going to be in theaters
right
as
now?
well as...
Right now, as of right now, it is still being promoted as a theatrical only release. And I think that part could change depending on what happens with Shang-Chi. Because Shang-Chi, if Shang-Chi can come out and I'm not expecting it can match the opening weekend numbers that, say, Black Widow did, because Black Widow is a character who's been around in the MCU almost since the beginning. Not in the beginning, but almost since the beginning. She's been around a long time. It's one that people were looking forward to a lot, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, if Shang-Chi can come out and make the same opening weekend numbers that Black Widow did, I think that's going to be very confidence boosting for the folks at Disney to believe, oh, okay, we just had this brand spanking new character come out and our word of mouth pushed it to Black Widow numbers. We can keep Eternals exactly where it is theatrically. I think Shang-Chi will probably make less than Black Widow, but how much less does it has to make than Black Widow in order to make Disney panic and pull it from being a theatrical only thing? I don't know. I listen, I don't know. I don't think Shang-Chi will make as much as Black Widow, but I think it'll be close. I think it'll be more
worldwide.
No, even on its domestic opening weekend. Say on its domestic opening weekend, Disney was thrilled with Free Guy making 28 million, on its opening weekend. I think Shang-Chi will exceed that. I think Shang-Chi will pull in over 35 million, and especially with the word of mouth, because last night across the country, I believe it was in 20 something cities, they had special advanced screenings for fans to go and watch. And the response has been bananas.
But also for the culture.
What's that?
For the culture.
Yeah.
I have a friend that doesn't watch comic book movies. And she's like, I am so excited to see this with my family because the representation is so important, just like Black Panther did for the Black community. You had a lot of people that weren't, I'm not much of a comic book movie, but this is for the culture. And so I'm so excited for the Asian community and for them to have this representation. I think a lot of people that aren't so much Marvel people are really going to invest and go see it for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have
oh
seen.
My God, I can go on and on.
I have seen Shang-Chi twice already, and I'm seeing it a third time next week. Aaron, you're watching it next week with me.
Yes.
By the way,
I can't wait to watch this for a third time. Oh my God, this movie's so good.
By the way, Aaron, I am so jealous. Jealous.
You should be.
I was going to offer to watch. Can I watch your baby?
Should be jealous.
Will you give me the ticket?
I'll watch CinemaCon. Stop it.
You can drop the dog off at my house, and I will give you free babysitting for the first year of your child's life. If you would just please share your ticket with me.
Hey man, I you know what? I will if we can do a Freaky Friday and switch bodies for just a moment, then I will let you have the first dibs on seeing Shang-Chi in Vegas next week.
You got it.
Anyway, I cannot wait to watch this again. Anyway, but if again, bringing it back to Eternals, I think if Shang-Chi does well, because I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me just look this up for a second here. Black Widow box office. I can't remember exactly how much it made opening weekend. I think it was its opening weekend at the domestic box office, I think was 60. I could be wrong about that. No, it was 80. Its opening weekend at the box office was 80. Is that real? Yeah, it was 80. Damn, that was big. Yeah, I don't expect Shang-Chi to make 80. I do not expect Shang-Chi to make 80. I think it'll probably get somewhere. If I had to guess, I'm going to guess somewhere between 35 and 50. And I think if Shang-Chi can make 35 to 50 opening weekend, I think that will cement that Eternals will stay theatrical only. Because I think then they'll believe that they can really recoup money at that point.
And it's the holidays too. Do you think that will drive the fact that it's around the holidays and people just naturally like to do that?
Is it really around the holidays? So November 5th? Is that?
The holidays are starting earlier
and people aren't really traveling
is
this
it
year.
Really the holidays?
You're
I'm
right.
not sure.
For me, as soon as I get pumpkin spice,
it's been a holiday
holidays.
for the last 2 years. What are we really even doing here?
And then, of course, there's a lot of people like me that will also be going to see the Aaron Cummings starring King Richard with her co-star Will Smith.
Day one, Aaron. Day one.
Aaron Cummings and featuring Will Smith.
Featuring appearance by Will
He's
Smith.
so lucky to have you, Aaron. He's so lucky.
Of course, we're going to be going to see that as well. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you guys think about this whole new final trailer for the Eternals? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere in between? And what do you think it says about the actual release date in early November? Does it just releasing it now and saying final trailer, does this kind of tip their hand to us that it is indeed going to stay on that release date? And what do you think about the possibilities of it remaining as a theatrical only film? Whatever you guys are thinking about it, jump on down to the comment section below and leave us your thoughts.